Hi everyone, we want to welcome you on our second podcast. Our topic today is going to be focused on the human element and health on board the vessels. We are delighted and very happy and excited to have today Mr. Costas Georgakoudes with us. That he's going to share a lot of his experience for onboard vessel visits and culinary training, and he has a lot of experience in also various areas of the world, different cuisines. So we'd like to share with you a few things. Can you start about telling us a little bit about yourself, your experience with MCTC for the onboard vessels visits and all this?
Thank you, Nichole. Well, first, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share some of my experience, some of my life actually with you. I have had the good fortune to be working with this company for a few years now, and I feel that it opened my eyes in areas that, even though they existed before I knew them, they are new to me. So the thing that I would really say is that if you don't love the people that you work for, that you are dealing with every day, it's very difficult to understand how they are living, why they are reacting the way they are reacting, why they have the attitude that they are reacting that way. So for me, meeting with the seafarers, going on the vessels, living in their quarters, speaking with them, and many times now we speak with them when they are with their families or where their kids running around and they're trying to hide them so we don't see them. It really makes a difference. So I really believe that what really changed the way I perceive everything about seafarers is when I went and I spent time with them on the vessel. That is when you really understand how these people are really having a difficult time away from their families. When we are, at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, depending on your job, you finish, you go home, that's it. You go next day. Seafarers, they don't have this luxury. They are on the vessel for many months at a time, so it's very difficult with them.
Yes, I know, and especially going on through rough weather or have to be there for 6 months. They don't have too much communication with the families, also with the food they love. So tell us a little bit about the food they love and your experience through that, and how do you implement helping them to eat healthy while they are on board. We also help from ashore. We find it very important. I totally agree with you that it's very important for them to feel they have the support, but for you being next to them while they are on board, how do you see this affecting them?
I would say that MCTC is trying to approach healthy eating from the moment that they are on the vessel, but also at the time they are with their families. Because it's not something that you have to simply implement when you are on the vessel. It's something that starts with the family. That's why we are having also, you know better than I do, what we're doing, all the activities and the things that we're doing in the Philippines with the families of the seafarers. Because if we manage to affect the family will affect the members of the family, and these people, when they go on the vessels, they will bring with them all these good practices that they're already implementing in their family and put them in practice when they're on the vessel. It's very difficult many times because it's easy to fall in the bad, let's say, practices, or going back to the easy way of doing things, frying and eating unhealthy. That's why it's a continuous struggle. Through our seafood handling and nutrition course, we are trying to reach out to all the chief cooks and all the messmen on the vessel in order to help them not simply follow a course or complete successfully a course, to change the way they are thinking about food.
Yes.
Because food is not simply, like recharging your batteries and moving on. Food is something that needs to bring joy.
Yes.
it's a time that we have to stop from doing anything else and enjoy also the social aspect of the food.
It's a whole mindset, if I add. It's a
Yes.
whole mindset. And indeed, it's something that needs to take all the aspects of it to feel like home while they are doing it on board, when they are home.
Exactly. And on board, when we are dealing with the chief cooks, I think the biggest challenge that we have is when we are trying to tell them to prepare all these nice meals in order to bring back home for a little bit. You know, nowadays, the seafarers, they have the opportunity to speak with their families.
Yes.
And know the news, what's happening back home. This is, in a way, something very positive that it was not possible a few years ago. But at the same time, it brings a lot of stress because things that a seafarer wouldn't know a few years ago about the troubles that the family is going through, now he's made aware of this family, about these things on a daily basis.
Yes.
So maybe he's stressed, maybe he's feeling uncomfortable. So a good meal that reminds him of home.
Yes.
Good company, that, you know, it's a time to socialize, just think of other things. It's very important. So that's why, as I have said from the beginning, MCTC is trying not only to educate chief cooks and messmen to work in a way that is healthier, but to create an environment on the vessel that will allow, you know, a moment of relaxation. Because eating well, that means people are feeling better, they communicate better, there are less friction, people are working safer. So it's a whole a whole series of factors that come into play that we are really trying to little by little implement them. And I would say that the most difficult thing that I think everybody is facing in his own life is to learn new things.
Yes.
And especially learn new ways of doing things in a better way.
Yeah, and also to change something they think they know good. For example, as you said, while they are sitting, it's the only time of the day they have to sit with somebody else and share their day and their thoughts and their stress, full events that happen through the day. So through that, only through having just a meal, they get to know each other, because we talk a lot with the cooks and the messman and the captain and all this, but all the other crew members are also participating in this meal time. Okay, so this is nice. They can share, each one of them, their own experiences, and then they can find similar ingredients from their own culture and make it in one meal.
Yes. You know that one of the things that we're trying to do here, it's also to help, especially the chief cooks, feel proud for what they're doing. Unfortunately, a lot of times we speak with them and we see them that they have their head down as if they are the last and least important person on the vessel. They feel that they are in the middle of you have to prepare this, or if you don't prepare this, you are not a good chief cook. Everybody will complain. Even in a family with 2 or 3 kids, you prepare a meal, somebody will.
Everybody expects from you, you want to do the best.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why one of the things that we are trying to encourage them is to, you know, feel proud for what they're doing. I mean, when I go on a vessel and I meet with the chief cook, before I even go to meet with the captain, before I go to speak with the galley crew, the first thing that I do, because this is what I want to convey to the people on the vessel, is I ask for a cabin, I go and change, I put on my chef's uniform, and then I meet with the captain.
So they feel that you are the same with them, you are there to support them. That's very important.
And I always tell them that even if someone approaches you outside in the street, if he has a uniform, a policeman uniform, for example, you give him a different respect than from someone who's giving you the same kind of instructions or advice, and he's not wearing a uniform. But wearing a uniform, you know, defines what you do on the vessel.
Yes.
So even things that are simple like that. I go on a vessel and I find people that they are just with a short sleeve because it's very hot. I can understand that. I can relate to that. But we want them to feel proud for what they are doing. And if you feel proud for what you're doing, it's inevitable that you are going to give your best.
Yeah, that's true.
So giving your best, it means that you will serve the others. You have people on the vessel that you have Europeans, you have Filipinos, you have Indians. You can find a way to satisfy everybody because you feel proud for what you are doing, and the only satisfaction that a chief cook can have is to see people eating and be happy
with their food.
I mean, imagine an architect. He is happy when he's walking outside a huge or beautiful building that he helped to build, and everybody says, "Oh, you were the architect."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a chief cook is a daily thing. Three times a day, he has the opportunity to prepare something and see people happy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that you can have only if you feel proud of what you're doing and you feel that what you're doing is really important. Of course, the combinations of food, the different kinds of elements that we are asking them to do during the safe food handling and nutrition course, are always very, very helpful, but we have to start, helping them change the way they think. The way they think about food and everything.
That is, I think, one of the most important things, because if they have this on the back of their mind, they try to implement it also while they are cooking, and also, as you said, when they go back home. From my experience, that what I notice also is this, that they all have some things they worry about. So if they are educated with a specific way on different areas of health and well-being, then they feel more comfortable on the choices that they make while they cook the meal. And also the other crew members, they trust the chief cook even more, because they know, I give my respect to you, I give my, I surrender to your, what you're going to prepare for the day. They enjoy it, they are happy, it creates a better environment.
It's like when you and I go to a restaurant, you are not going to go in the kitchen and tell the chef there how to prepare.
Yes.
You are willing.
You trust them.
Because you trust them. Yes. You are willing to pay good money and taste what they are doing. So if a chief cook is feeling good, he's going to do the same thing on a vessel, and this thing is going to reflect with him when he goes back home. He's going to be in his own house, and maybe he will even ask his wife to prepare things in a different way. Mm-hmm. And by doing that, and through all the activities that we are doing in the Philippines, we also have this thing where we invite all the seafarers and their families to come. And by changing them, we are also changing their family and the next generation. And it's going to be a slow process. Learning new things is not something that takes 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes generations to achieve that. But that is where we are working towards to change attitudes, change the way we think about preparing food, and taking to the next
step. It's a nice quote I love. I always use is, how do you change the world? By one act of random kindness at a time. So we change the mindset of one person and takes it to the second one, the next one, and that's how it goes. Yes. But from another experience you have on going away from the vessel for 6 months, and they fall back to the old habits, and then the last month, as you said, while we were discussing together, they try to achieve that. Also, I see this also from my experience. What do you think will help them more to not fall back? I can say a few things also, but I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
One of the things, just to help everybody understand what we are talking about, is that we have seen that a lot of times under our, let's say, guidance and our close cooperation with them while they are on the vessel, they might feel obligated, if I may say, to cook healthier, eat healthier, prepare different things on the vessel that are healthier than the ones that they are used to when they are back home. And it's human nature that as soon as they leave the vessel, they just want to all of the things that they didn't have the chance to eat and taste while they were on the vessel, they just want to try everything. But there is one reality for the seafarers, and they cannot escape from this reality, is that everybody, in order to go back on a vessel and sign a new contract, they have to pass their medical exam.
Yes.
And when we have the opportunity to speak with them during the briefings that we have with them, because every chief cook and messman before going on a vessel, we arrange for a briefing with them in order to tell them the latest about MCTC, the different services offered on the vessel. One of the things that I like to bring up is that, especially if it's on the very last weeks of his time on shore before going on a vessel, I ask him, are you on a strict diet now or not? Because what happens is that maybe for 3 or 4 months they will eat like there's no tomorrow, and the last month they will just go on this strict diet, that in order for them to be able to pass the medical examination that is needed for them to be able to renew their contracts. Now, most of them, they will just smile in a way, as when you catch a child, picking in the candies, and you tell them, did you eat a candy? And they will just
I go for it more.
guilty eyes, but the mouth doesn't say anything.
Yes.
So what we are trying to do now actually is to encourage them that you don't have to do that. Of course,
Yes.
you can taste everything that you have been missing, but it's like one thing is to taste something that you missed for so long, and it's another thing every day to indulge in all of the things that you want to eat. And that is also one of the things that we have introduced lately, and you know it very well, better than I do. We also advise them that they can reach out to MCTC to find more information regarding their nutrition. If they want some assistance, they can communicate with you, so they can get something like a plan. Or
Actually, the secret or the key to success is this: they can enjoy the things they love when they go back, because we know they're going to do it. We all want this thing to be occurring to us. So what we suggest is you can enjoy the things you love, just try to have a balance. For example, if for a whole week you are following some specific healthier way of living or some nutritional meals, also when you are home, maybe on the weekend you just have your day that you enjoy the ice cream you love, the junk food you love. This way you are never on a diet, but you are always around a healthier meal plan. And you don't need to run the last month to achieve the specific body mass index that is required or things like that. But we are always next to them, supporting them if they need a special guidance on a personal level. So that's a very important factor, the human element, as we said in the beginning. Yes. The human element.
Yes. Just to give you an example, today I was speaking with a chief cook from the Philippines. He's going on the vessel at the end of this month, and I told him, listen, if you need some assistance in the way you want to eat during these last few weeks, you can communicate. There is no obligation. I mean, we want you to pass the medical exam, of course, because we know that your work is very important for you and your family. But on the other hand, there is no need for you to go through this
extreme starvation.
Exactly.
Because this is important too. We see people that are not eating enough calories per day. So that's also very important.
Yes.
So yes. So to end this amazing conversation with you, what is your last message you'd love to give us from your own perspective?
My last thing to say is that, doing this job, I learned to appreciate and love the people that I work with, because I feel that that's the only way that I can put myself into their shoes and really understand. Otherwise, I will be just giving instructions, and people don't want to live with instructions. They want to live with people that they care about them and they want their well-being.
Yes, because then you feel trapped.
Yes.
And that's a very nice thing you said, because if everybody feels the same, we are moving forward.
Yes.
Only if we understand their difficult way of life and how important their role is for all of us. They bring the world to us, so we need to support them. So that's very nice, you said. Thank you so much. And I wish we will continue our conversation in a future podcast together.
Thank you for this invitation.
Thank you.